Welcome. This is going to be an Akashic Records reading for the first week of November. I'm really excited to see what comes through. The energy, as we know, has been very disruptive, but also propelling us forward in so many ways. I also want to say hello and welcome to so many new subscribers for my channel. I am so excited to connect with so many of you. Please be sure to let me know your name in the comments and let me know what you like about hearing these readings. And I just can't wait to get to know you more. So if you're new, welcome, and be sure to like and subscribe. So the first week of November, oh my goodness, I hope you guys had a good Halloween and that you are feeling like you're in a good space now. The readings I offer really are for those who are on their spiritual path, I would say, and are interested in it. Not necessarily having a lot of experience, but wanting to come back and just really get together and have readings with people that you feel you can trust and also get guidance and wisdom and clarity. So I hope this resonates for you. So let's just see what I'm feeling in the energy of the Akashic Records. Something that I'm hearing for you at the moment, for some of you, if this resonates, is that you've been feeling blue, that there is a level of melancholy, a level of like wishing things might be a bit different than they are, at least in your feeling body and your emotional body. And I really want to say to you, give yourself time to enjoy how you are feeling, what is going on. And part of that is us being human and us learning to enjoy emotions. And it's not always easy, but when we observe and we notice how we feel, we are able to connect in more with our humanity and also seasons and cycles. Because what I'm hearing is that a lot of this is seasonal for you, that things might be coming up as a result of this time of year, that possibly this has been something in your history that has been difficult or felt challenging. And so just be sure to take really good care of yourself and allow yourself to let the stream of emotion just run through you like a river and know that it's temporary. That's what I'm hearing. So let's see what the tarot has for us in this regard. And this is so wonderful. So we're getting the Sun card and then the Five of Cups. This is so interesting because what this makes me feel like when I'm here and I'm checking in with the records is that part of you feels like you should feel happy, that you should feel grateful, that you should feel as though things are going well. But part of you does feel sad. This could be the loss of something big in your life. It could be someone's passing, an ancestor, a loved one. It could be a pet. It could be that you're transitioning from one season of your life to a new season. It could be just being reminded of different times that have gone by and being a little bit melancholy for those times. And the contradiction is with the Sun card right next to it, it makes me feel like some of you are saying, but I should be happy. I should be feeling celebratory. I should be feeling grateful and have gratitude. And the thing is, when we do just have great patience for ourselves and we don't pressure ourselves to show up a certain way or behave a certain way or feel like we have to be a certain person, then we really enjoy and accept the season we're in. Then we're much more in balance and flow with nature and with how things were meant to be, which is our connection with the cosmos, the earth cycles. And if you're in the Western Hemisphere, you are in a season of the fall, autumn. Our clocks just turned back here, at least in the United States. And there is a time of going within. And so the more we get to the place where we are okay with the feeling of loss and the feeling of sadness, Then when we do actually feel the sense of joy again, which will be coming, it's just here for a moment that you feel this way, you'll enjoy that season as well. So it's not going to be as much of something that feels like a pressure of having to behave a certain way or feel a certain way or show up a certain way. That's really what I'm hearing. And I know that for myself. And I know this for, like, I'm thinking of my own children who are now young adults, but sometimes when they were disappointed at different stages of their, when they were in high school or in the early years of college, I remember feeling and getting that information, the guidance from my own guides that would say, just accept where you are. It's only for a time. It's just a season. And we need those seasons of sadness, loneliness, and disappointment just as much as we need the happy times, because it's in contradiction to those things. And when we feel happy, then it's just as rich. It's almost like you can't always have a winning season. That's not the cycle of nature. The cycle of nature is, if we look at it based on, say, let's look at the wheel of the year, right? In the spring, we start having all those buds start to forge out of the ground, and there's such a feeling of harmony and happiness because we see the crocus come up from underneath the dark earth, and then we have all those flowers and richness of spring, and we ourselves feel in cycle with creating and thinking of what's to come and celebrating things that are being birthed or that we're birthing or other lives that are happening. And then in the summer, we're enjoying those rich fruits and being out in the brightness of the sun. And then in the fall, just like now, we start shedding. We release, right? So that's normal. And I love this deck because it has the different stages of the moon in it. And this is more, I would say, a very almost near just into the new moon, which means that this is just something that's peeking through. So you might feel more of the shadow than you do of the light. And just remember, that's temporary season. We need to have that so that the process of enrichment and growth and birth can happen. So the other thing we're getting is this energy of the Hierophant, right? It's like the energy of Saturn and also the Knight of Pentacles. Now, I've been reading a lot more about the planet of Saturn because I'm starting to study astrology, and more in depth than I ever have. And one thing about Saturn is the planet of time. Right. He's also the planet of karmic lessons. He's the planet of restrictions, of rules, and things that happen. But and sometimes people resist that energy. But what we need to know really is that we need him just as much as we need the expansion of Jupiter, which is abundance and fullness and large energy, right? So we need the restriction in order to help us really decide what is important to us, what's of value, what do we cherish? And then we do need to let go of things that aren't serving us anymore. And with the Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest knight. So although he's moving, and he definitely he's moving in action, he also takes his time. And he is really the slowest of all of the knights. You know what I just realized? That's the Knight of Cups. I'm going to take that because that's so funny because I'm reading this way. I want to say this is interesting because I was looking, and in this deck, specifically in this version, which I think is so beautiful, he looks like he's moving very slow. So I'm going to read this two ways. I'm going to read it as Knight of Pentacles, which is very slow and intention setting and specific. But I'm also going to say having an open heart, I think, is extremely important in this case. Open heart, open vessel, open access. I like it. All right, let's see what else is coming forward in this reading. What else is coming for this first week? King of Cups. That is very interesting. The Seven of Wands, and then the Ace of Wands in reverse. This is going to be interesting. A quick note, this is the third time I've filmed this segment of the reading, which I think is very interesting. It shows a lesson I think Spirit's trying to bring through for me and also maybe for all of you as far as resilience and persistence and not giving up. And knowing that sometimes you're going to feel deterred and frustrated and that you want to throw in the towel, but really to take a step back and to enjoy the process of developing whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that is special to you, that motivates you, that feels like something you want to put your energy towards. Do not give up. King of Cups is such a beautiful card for you in this particular reading with the Seven of Wands. The thing I want to say is, this is Finnegan, by the way. I don't think you guys have met Finnegan. He is my familiar cat and tends to always love to show up just right in the middle of things, and we just go with it. But the King of Cups is really here telling us that to have emotional wisdom, and also that we have invested in ourselves to develop ourselves emotionally and when it comes to relationships. So this could be in fact someone that you're connected to. It could be someone in your environment, maybe not even romantically, but it has to do with someone who's incredibly mature. And I feel like this is a lot to do with you. But also you being so mature and being protective over your boundaries, your emotional well-being, your boundaries, and knowing your limits. Now, the thing I find very interesting, and this came through in the last two times I did this part of the reading, was this. We have some challenging energy coming up ahead of us when it comes to the holiday seasons. And that is that we often see people, or we're reminded of people that we don't always have a good relationship with, where we do have to protect ourselves emotionally, where we have to think about our well-being and what's best for us. And also where we need to make sure that we're pacing ourselves and that we are invested in our well-being. And I feel like that's the message here. I really do. I feel like this is a case when we know that we might get triggered. We might feel like we're at a good place, but then we get knocked down a peg. And this is what family and friends who we have long-standing relationships with can sometimes make us feel like. But I want to let you know, you have got this. Enjoy where you are right now is what I'm hearing from the Akashic guides. Enjoy where you are, but also protect yourself. And knowing that, especially if you're a person who's on their spiritual path, you're on a path of growth, you're on a path of healing, you're on a path of reclaiming who you are. This is not a time where you need to defend yourself, where you need to explain yourself, or even open up to people who really don't deserve your trust. And know that you don't have to explain anything to anyone. That this is really a time for you specifically where you can, people have to earn your trust. And not everyone understands where you are, and it's not for them to know. And they may never be on the spiritual path. And that is okay. So protecting yourself is important. And then finally, the Ace of Wands in reverse tells me that this could even be you feeling a bit discouraged because people are not necessarily validating who you are, what you do. You feel often depleted in your energy when you're around them. And this is just a real indicator for me that there's a red light flashing. So if you feel like you want to share something with them, but it doesn't feel like it's the right time, trust that, because I have a feeling that that is coming up. Now, the other cards we pulled for this, very interesting. We pulled the Wheel of Fortune and then the Full Moon card. Now, I can't remember, but I know the full moon's coming and I think it's in Taurus, so we're going to go with that. But I want to let you know that you have put so much time into being where you are right now on your life path. And you really want to prioritize, again, the things that are the most important to you, that you value. And being in Taurus, Taurus has a lot to do with, oh, the beautiful energy of Venus. So this could be things surrounding your home, your relationships, how you feel about yourself, your physical body. But I really want to let you know that there is something that I'm hearing here is give yourself room to have that sense of pleasure and luxury. You do not have to move fast during this time. In fact, that might be counterintuitive for you. So don't feel like you have to speed up to get anywhere. That's something I'm hearing. Last card, the beautiful World card. Isn't that a beauty? You've earned it. You've done it. You're there. You've already arrived. You don't have to keep putting your best foot forward because you're there. Be where you are right now is what Spirit's saying. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy this moment. And even though it sometimes feels imperfect and as though you get frustrated and as though you feel you have so much further to go, you have come so far. And the insights, the downloads, the things that you're investigating, just enjoy the process. Being where you are, warts and all, just be where you are, enjoy it. It's part of this human experience and walking this mortal coil. The other thing I really want to let you know is that I'm so excited you're here. Finnegan's excited. You can't see Theo, my golden retriever, but he's excited too. And I really want to let you know that now is the time for you, to care for yourself. And this community here that we are building here on this app, I'm really excited about where things will continue to grow to. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to tell me your name, where you're from, and what you're hoping to get from this channel, if you feel so inclined. And also, it helps me so much if you can watch one of my videos all the way through, make a comment, make sure to share it, and feel free to boost it as a post. That's a new feature, and I would love to hear from you. And be sure to watch this next video. All right, take care.